Hi all and welcome to my endless tank guide from a blood tank perspective. My glyphs and talents are as follows. I flasked for stamina and I ate for stamina because honestly survivability is better than anything else here. I also wrote up a death pact macro that just raises your ally and sacrifices it all in just a couple quick clicks. Wave 1 begins with you wanting to stand toward the right and trying to attack the Wind Guard first, trying to convince the Mistweaver to attack the Wind Guard first. It's no big deal if she does start focusing down the Ripper, as will sometimes happen for no apparent reason. As Asphyxiate was a talent I took here because Chill Drains is pretty much useless, you can actually asphyxiate the Wind Guard for a little while just to take care of a little bit of the damage that goes out here while the Ripper goes down. Watch out for Windblast. You can use the barriers on the outside to get knocked back into those so that you don't go flying as far, or you can simply just face the middle and get knocked back there too, but sometimes in the later waves that's going to be a little bit annoying. Just be careful because the Windblast does drop threat, and you really don't want this thing beating on your Mistweaver for too long. Try and position yourself toward the end of this wave where the vermin are going to spawn, which is to the circle on the left if you're facing the entrance, and try and keep up Soul Reaper at the end of every single wave to regenerate all of your runes. Wave 2 begins with this massive pack of vermin. I used Outbreak here and then Blood Boil to spread all of my diseases as much as possible, AoEing as best I could, and then popping Remorseless Winter around the 118-ish mark of the score in anticipation of the ambusher. Pull it across the other side of the room to approximately where the other ambusher will spawn later on in the wave. This will drop your stacks, get you into position to grab it really quickly, and allow you to spread all of your diseases at once. You can asphyxiate the other ambusher if you want, and for this, to deal with this wave, I popped Dancing Rune Weapon and I attempted to use Death Pack, but I obviously didn't click my button twice. But that's no big deal. So once that wave is dead, go and position yourself in anticipation for the next wave, which spawns 2 Rippers and 2 Flame Callers. You can leave 1 Flame Caller up on the Mistweaver. It will not do enough damage to kill her, and she can take care of it really easily. Allow them both to get their cast off. This was a bit of a weird positioning for the Invoke Lava here, but it was no big deal. Then you can just Death Grip the one that's closest to you. You can also Dark Sim it to try and get a proc of Fireball or Pyroblast, whichever one it's casting, and use it on whatever it is you're targeting, but I mean it's no big deal if you don't. Just a little bit of a DPS increase, and later on, in later waves, I was also using that to pull ambushes off of the Mistweaver. But make sure you utilize the lava there, drag things into it, and just be careful on your positioning because it does tick hard on you. You can use Anti-Magic Shell, but it's obviously not going to soak up all of the damage you're taking. That lava does tick hard. The next wave is a Wind Guard and a Conqueror, a little Conqueror. You're going to want to try and get that Conqueror down as quickly as possible, and once again you can asphyxiate the Wind Guard. Watch out for his powerful slam, as it does stun you, and you do not want to waste Icebound Fortitude at this point. That got me killed quite a few times before I got this right. Once he enrages, you can pop your Dancing Rune Weapon as a defensive, and watch out for the ambusher. I found that when that ambusher spawns, he also does a slam, and it's important not to get caught in it while you're trying to grab that ambusher, because quite often I was focusing more on death gripping than moving, getting stunned, popping Icebound, and dying. You don't want to do that. I also chose to use Remorseless Winter on this wave just because I was getting hit quite hard and I really didn't want to risk dying at this point, because that's kind of frustrating when you've been going for 25 minutes and you wipe. So you can utilize that, and then you'll have this Wind Guard up for the next wave, which is kind of annoying, but you can deal with it. Once again, utilize the lava as much as possible, a little bit better than I did there, hopefully, and focus the hell out of that Wind Guard. You want it to die as quickly as you can. Death Grip in the ambusher, and pull everything once again into the fire. At this point I was struggling a little bit because I didn't kill that wind guard quick enough, but that's okay. Once again, the flame caller can stay on the mist weaver, it's no big deal. And 2 additional ambushes will spawn, one kind of immediately before the fire goes away and one that you won't have time to kite into fire. But they don't have much life and they're really easy to kill. Make sure that you save runes in this wave, because you will be popping Army of the Dead as soon as that ambusher goes down, to deal with the next wave, which is 3 wind guards. Now, these are a pain. This wave is quite annoying if you don't use your army. Even if you do use your army, you can still possibly get blasted every which way. But focus down the wind guard that the Mistweaver focuses, at least try and get it killed. You will only have time to get 1 down before the next wave, but you can make a significant dent in one of the other one's health pools before the next wave spawns, so you'll kind of end up with 1.5 dead this wave before your army all dies and becomes obsolete. Once again, Asphyxiate is your friend here. You can use it to, I guess, control one of the other ones, the off, I guess, wind guard, and then just kind of work on focusing down the one that you've chosen as your target. You can, I guess there's no reason that you can't interrupt Wind Blast, or Wing Blast, but honestly I was never successful in doing that. Now this wave is horrible, wave 7. I popped Remorseless Winter off the bat, spread all of my diseases, and ran very far away. Because, honestly, everything hits so hard at that point. When the Conqueror enrages, you're going to want to try and pop a cooldown. Once again, I used my Dancing Rune weapon to deal with it, because I really needed everything up as best as I could for wave 9. But once the vermin go down, it's not so difficult, and you're going to want to try and kill the wind guard first again, because the Conqueror doesn't really do much other than his slam after he's in range, which is really easy to deal with. You can just sidestep it, run through him. Before wave 8, I guess, or just before the additional ads spawn in wave 8, you will be able to kill this Conqueror. You just focus him down, don't worry about the Flame Caller just yet. I chose to have this Conqueror dead before I even bothered death gripping the Caller in, just because, in my experience, that Conqueror can get really annoying. There will be a lot of ambushes spawn in this wave. As long as you kite them into the lava, honestly, they're going to die before the next one spawns. Toward the end of the wave, you might have 2 up, but one of them will die before wave 8, and the other one will be low, wave 9, but the other one will be low before wave 9 also. But just try and utilize that fire as best as you can. I didn't do too great of a job with it in that wave 28. The previous waves I did a lot better, but I didn't fraps that. That's okay. So then just finish off this ambusher as best as you can before the next wave, which is the most horrifying thing I've ever had to deal with. So Remorseless Winter as soon as you can and spread all of your diseases. Try not to panic like I did and pop everything at once, because you're going to want to roll as many cooldowns as you can. Once again, I kited to the other side of the room, mostly for survivability, to allow the Mistweaver to get as much as possible on them. Ambushes will spawn, and at this point I was panicking pretty hardcore, because I was taking a lot of damage and backing up was my thing. It really doesn't do much and it's kind of pointless, and those wing blasts were making me yell at my computer a lot. But it is okay. You just need to be clever about your cooldown management. You need to be careful with what you're killing first, what you're focusing down. At this point I honestly could have strangulated once again, but I didn't really think to do that because I was kind of just mashing buttons and praying that my Death Knight didn't die. But there is a smart way to handle that wave. And wave 30, or wave 10, every 10th wave, is a Flame Caller, a Conqueror, and an Ambusher. The Conqueror, you're just going to have to try and be careful. I try and have 1 cooldown up for it, so in this case I had Vampiric Blood. to deal with his enrage again, and tank him in the lava, avoid his slam. He dies really easily, and then you'll have your ambusher to pull off. You don't, again, I popped Remorseless Winter just to, I guess, mitigate damage. I didn't really want to die at this point, and I was taking no risks. So, focus down that Conqueror, then focus down the Ambusher. The Mistweaver should have finished off the Flamecaller, and you get yourself your Proven Defender title. The main points that I got out of this was do not panic. Do not freak out, do not mash buttons, just it'll take you a little while to work out a rhythm, but once you work out your rhythm, you will be fine. As with every other set of Proving Grounds, you get an intermission, and that's it. Thanks for watching. That's it. Thanks for watching.